Officially the Italian Republic, Italian, Repubblica Italiana, Italian, Repubblica Italiana, is a country in southern and western Europe. Located in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea, it consists of a peninsula delimited by the Alps and surrounded by several islands. Italy shares land borders with France, Switzerland, Austria, Slovenia, and the enclaved microstates of Vatican City and San Marino. It has a territorial exclave in Switzerland, Campione, and an archipelago in the African plate. Italy covers an area of 301,340 square kilometers, with a population of nearly 60 million. It is the 10th largest country by land area in the European continent and the third most populous member state of the European Union. Its capital and largest city is Rome. The Italian peninsula was historically the native place and destination of numerous ancient peoples. The Latin city of Rome in central Italy, founded as a kingdom, became a republic that conquered the Mediterranean world and ruled it for centuries as an empire. With the spread of Christianity, Rome became the seat of the Catholic Church and of the papacy. During the early Middle Ages, Italy experienced the fall of the Western Roman Empire and inward migration from Germanic tribes. By the 11th century, Italian city-states and maritime republics expanded, bringing renewed prosperity through commerce and laying the groundwork for modern capitalism. The Italian Renaissance flourished in Florence during the 15th and 16th centuries and spread to the rest of Europe. Italian explorers also discovered new routes to the Far East and the New World, helping to usher in the European Age of Discovery. However, centuries of rivalry and infighting between the Italian city-states among other factors left the peninsula divided into numerous states until the late modern period. During the 17th and 18th centuries, the Italian economic and commercial importance significantly waned. After centuries of political and territorial divisions, Italy was almost entirely unified in 1861 following wars of independence and the Expedition of the Thousand, establishing the Kingdom of Italy. From the late 19th century to the early 20th century, Italy rapidly industrialized, mainly in the north, and acquired a colonial empire, while the south remained largely impoverished and excluded from industrialization, fueling a large immigrant diaspora. From 1915 to 1918, Italy took part in World War I on the side of the Entente and against the Central Powers. In 1922, following a period of crisis and turmoil, the Italian fascist dictatorship was established. During World War II, Italy was first part of the Axis until it surrendered to the Allied powers, 1940 to 1943, and then, as part of its territory was occupied by Nazi Germany with fascist collaboration, a co-belligerent of the Allies during the Italian resistance and the liberation of Italy, 1943 to 1945. Following the end of the war, the country replaced the monarchy with a republic via referendum and enjoyed a prolonged economic boom, becoming a major advanced economy. Italy has the 8th largest nominal GDP in the world, the 2nd largest manufacturing industry in Europe, 7th largest in the world. The country has a significant role in regional and global economic, military, cultural, and diplomatic affairs. Italy is a founding and leading member of the European Union, and it is in numerous international institutions including NATO, the G7, the Mediterranean Union, and the Latin Union. The source of many inventions and discoveries, The country is considered a cultural superpower and has long been a global center of art, music, literature, cuisine, science and technology, and fashion. It has the world's largest number of World Heritage Sites, and is the world's fifth most visited country. Hypotheses for the etymology of the name, Italia, are numerous. 40. One is that it was an ancient Greek term used to describe the land of the Italoi, a tribe living in what is now Calabria, the tip of the Italian peninsula. They were perhaps originally named Vituli, as some scholars have suggested that their totemic animal was the calf, Lat Vitulus, Umbrian Vitlo, Oscan Vitiliu. Several ancient authors, Dionysius of Halicarnassus, Antiochus of Syracuse, Aristotle, give instead the account that Italy was named after a local ruler named Italus, according to Antiochus of Syracuse. The term Italy was used by the ancient Greeks to initially refer only to the southern portion of the Bruttium Peninsula corresponding to the modern province of Reggio and part of the provinces of Catanzaro and Vibo Valentia in southern Italy. Nevertheless, by his time the larger concept of Enotria and Italy had become synonymous, and the name also applied to most of Lucania as well. According to Strabo's Geographica, before the expansion of the Roman Republic, the name was used by ancient Greeks to indicate the land between the Strait of Messina and the line connecting the Gulf of Salerno and Gulf of Taranto, corresponding roughly to the current region of Calabria. The ancient Greeks gradually came to apply the name Italia to a larger region in addition to the Greek Italy in the south. Historians have suggested the existence of an Etruscan Italy, covering variable areas of central Italy. The borders of Roman Italy, Italia, are better established. Cato's Origins, the first work of history composed in Latin, described Italy as the entire peninsula south of the Alps. According to Cato and several Roman authors, the Alps formed the walls of Italy. In 264 BC, Roman Italy extended from the Arno and Rubicon rivers of the center north to the entire south. The northern area of Cisalpine Gaul was occupied by Rome in the 220s BC and became considered geographically and de facto part of Italy, but remained politically and de jure separated. It was legally merged into the administrative unit of Italy in 42 BC by the Triumvir Octavian as already planned by Julius Caesar. The islands of Sardinia, Corsica, Sicily, and Malta were added to Italy by Diocletian in 292 AD, coinciding with the whole Italian geographical region. All its inhabitants were considered Italic and Roman. The Latin term Italicus was used to describe a man of Italy, as opposed to a provincial, or one from the Roman province. For example, Pliny the Elder notably wrote in a letter Italicus es and provincialis, meaning, are you an Italian or a provincial? The adjective Italianus, from which are derived the Italian, and also French and English, name of the Italians, is from medieval Latin and was used alternatively with Italicus during the early modern period. After the fall of the Western Roman Empire, the Kingdom of Italy was created. After the Lombard invasions, Italia was retained as the name for their kingdom, and for its successor kingdom within the Holy Roman Empire, which nominally lasted until 1806, although it had de facto disintegrated due to factional politics pitting the empire against the ascendant city republics in the 13th century. Thousands of Lower Paleolithic artifacts have been recovered from Monte Paggiolo, dating as far back as 850,000 years. Excavations throughout Italy revealed a Neanderthal presence dating back to the Middle Paleolithic period some 200,000 years ago, while modern humans appeared about 40,000 years ago at Riporomachi, 64. Archaeological sites from this period include Adora Cave, Altamira, Soprano, and Gravina in Puglia. The ancient peoples of pre-Roman Italy, such as the Umbrians, the Latins, from which the Romans emerged, Volsci, Oscans, Samnites, Sabines, the Celts, the Ligures, the Veneti, the Iapygians, and many others, were Indo-European peoples, most of them specifically of the Italic group. The main historic peoples of possible non-Indo-European or pre-Indo-European heritage include the Etruscans of central and northern Italy, the Illyricans and the Sicani in Sicily, and the prehistoric Sardinians, who gave birth to the Nuragic civilization. Other ancient populations being of undetermined language families and of possible non-Indo-European origin include the Rhaetian people and Camuni, known for their rock carvings in Valcamonica, the largest collections of prehistoric petroglyphs in the world. A well-preserved natural mummy known as Otzi the Iceman, determined to be 5,000 years old, between 3400 and 3100 BCE, Copper Age, was discovered in the Similon Glacier of South Tyrol in 1991. The first foreign colonizers were the Phoenicians, who initially established colonies and founded various emporiums on the coasts of Sicily and Sardinia. Some of these soon became small urban centers and were developed parallel to the ancient Greek colonies. Among the main centers there were the cities of Motia, Zyz, modern Palermo, Saguntum in Sicily, and Nora, Sulci, and Pharos in Sardinia. Between the 17th and the 11th centuries BC, Mycenaean Greeks established contacts with Italy. In the 8th and 7th centuries BC, a number of Greek colonies were established, starting at Pithecusae and eventually extending all along the southern part of the Italian peninsula and the coast of Sicily, an area that later became known as Magna Graecia. Ionian settlers founded Elea, Kyme, Rhegium, Naxos, Zankos, Himera, and Catan. Doric colonists founded Terras, Syracusae, Megara Hyblaea, Leontinoi, Acragas, and Gilas. The Syracusans founded Ancon and Adria. The Megares founded Selinunte. The Achaeans founded Sybaris, Poseidonia, Croton, Locroi Episopherioi, and Metapontum. Tarentini and Thuriats found Heraclea. The Greek colonization placed the Italic peoples in contact with democratic forms of government and with high artistic and cultural expressions. Ancient Rome, a settlement around a ford on the river Tiber in central Italy and conventionally founded in 753 BC, was ruled for a period of